program. Tell me something. As trainers, do you find that your youths are very frustrating and you find it very challenging and stressful to teach classes while your youths have been distracted by so many different things and not paying attention? If so, this youth mentorship training program is for you. And here we are teaching you how to become influencers so that your students become more engaged with you than the devices, than the entertainment, or even more than each other. Here's how we do it. We need to understand that in the present technology age, with advancement in technology, advancement in personal development, our present generation are experiencing more divorce and dissatisfaction and distractions and destitutions and destructions and depravity among themselves and disbelief that anything could work, that anything is possible. Even the deception of the technology have our children, the youths, as slaves, and even many adults. Disunity. People cannot collaborate together as they used to. A lot of youths cannot really form proper groups. That is why the gangs have them uniting for destruction. Well, how do we get them to unite for right standing? What about disobedience to law, disobedience to principles? It's prevalent in our society. And then, of course, this because of depression, they don't know what to do. They feel hopeless. They feel aimless. They feel taken advantage of. And the depression is a pandemic. Right? Now, because of the amount of things that are happening and the deception that's taking place, people are stressed out. And the stress is causing them to destroy each other, even destroy themselves. But it's also leading them to dishonor, not respecting each other, not holding each other as high esteem, not able to praise each other. Not able to honor each other as they're supposed to. Not even their teachers or their parents, because even their parents don't know how to honor others. And of course, all of it leading to disaster, destruction and disaster in the classroom, in the community, and in the world today. Well, if you're a teacher and you're frustrated, I understand that your classroom could be have serious disruptions and your youths displaying numerous antisocial behaviors and you can't get their attention. And then inadequate training that you might have to handle these situations, the teacher. And even as a social worker, you're trying your best, you're talking over and over to parents and they're not taking you on. They don't understand the gravity of the situation. And you are working with limited resources while the demand on you are increasing. And that leads you to burnout. That sometimes you're stressed out. And even teachers now are calling it baptism by fire. A lot of teachers are crying before they even done, right? And some of us are feeling unsafe because of the high risk of potential violence in the class or even after class. Some students are waiting for teachers and are trapping them and causing harm to them physically and even to sometimes their vehicles and their property because the stress is increasing because the demands placed on us as teachers by complex admin systems, how to put it, unsupported educational system that's not being compassionate, not understanding the situation that you're in. And you're feeling pressure to meet the academic standards and expectations that they're forcing on you because the students you have are not even ready to learn or willing to learn. This is exhausting. And trying to persuade negligent students who don't want to learn, even more stressful. This is overwhelming. And it's overwhelming more so because of the increased workload placed upon teachers and educators and social workers today. But I understand because I've been through some failures. And those failures started even from family life, even from as a youth coming up, even through my education and failing in education, and all the things that youths can use as excuses for them to lash out, for them to behave the way they are. but God intervened in my situation and God intervened in their situation as well. And even with a string of failures, academically and otherwise, I still got success from looking at what is good, what God has put in me, what I could use. And even as I was succeeding and helping other youths, other teachers recognized this and then started to learn what I was doing. From that, they got success as well. So victory was given to us. We won the victory regardless of the situations because God's system always works. System is always the best, right? And if you're a teacher or a student, you're a teacher of teenagers, you're a teacher of young adults, or you might be a social worker, a youth worker in an organization. If you could understand these 5 principles, these 5 mistakes that a lot of teachers make and overcome these mistakes, you'll be able to inspire, influence, and transform those youths. If you're able to understand how to stop working hard to get their attention, if you understand how to access the secret hearts and minds of the 21st century youths who are enslaved by technology instead of being attentive to your lessons. If you want to learn how to transform destructive youths into responsible leaders and understand the 5 major conflicts that are going on in their lives and they're experiencing, struggling to try to understand what you are saying and then looking at reality as being opposite to what you're saying. If you understand the 2 major powerful motivators in their lives, and then understand the #1 principle of attracting their attention, you will be able to inspire, influence, and transform these youths into the leaders they were created to be. So it's possible. We just have to learn, understand that these mistakes are common to most educators, not understanding that even though you're seeing the physical responses of the children, physical response in terms of the distraction, their behavior, their negligence, the mental and spiritual cause behind it is the real issue. So if you can if you can get their attention, if you can address the spiritual and mental issues in their lives, the physical behaviors change, right? Because the values change. Sons versus slavery. A lot of youths think that they are slaves, that they are just working to please someone else because someone else want them to do this. So they're always stressed out because they don't feel as if they are loved just for who they are, just for being human being. And that is needed. That appreciation, that value, that acceptance to belong to someone or a group is what the gangs have done that they're able to capture the attention of these youths. Of course, we know the deception is to make them slaves down the road. But the way the gangs do it, that the gangs accept them as who they are. They don't try to make them someone that they're not. And we need to be able to accept and understand students as who they are. We need to spend the time investigating, questioning, understanding them, getting them to talk and to share their life with us so that they don't feel as if they're just doing this to please someone or some certificate that someone else want them to do, but something that they want to do must be the aim. Also, we looking at the mistake of setting up rules instead of focusing on the rule that is built into the person. The rules that we are making might be good, but is it really for them or is it for us? Does it really bring out the best in them? Do they know that? Do they understand that? So if we get them to understand first that they are rulers, that they're leaders, but to make them the best, these are principles that they need to follow, not for someone else, but for themselves. Makes it even better. Wisdom versus intelligence. Our education system focus on intelligence and certification instead of wisdom. Wisdom is more important than certification. As the wise man said, wisdom is the principal thing in Proverbs. Solomon, second wisest man who ever lived, said, wisdom is the principal thing, and all you're getting, get understanding, because it is more important than intelligence. Intelligence is just getting information and understanding information. Wisdom is understanding why the information is important, why it should be applied that way. AI could always be more intelligent than us, but AI could never be wiser than us because AI don't understand why. You know, AI does not understand original design. But we, created in the image of God, can understand original design and how things are supposed to operate. And that wisdom need to be what they're supposed to focus on more than intelligence. Also, the education system focus on employment, getting people to learn subjects so that they can get a good job and maybe start an enterprise, maybe. But we need to focus on deployment of the gifts and the values that are inside of the person that you're created with. We need to understand that there are geniuses inside of each person. Each person is a genius. As Albert Einstein said, each person is a genius. But if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will spend its life thinking that it is stupid because it's not designed to climb a tree. And the system that we're creating came from the slavery system, which puts everybody in a camp and indoctrinate them to learn the same way, learn the same things the same way, not understanding that each person learns differently. And therefore, we need to learn different learning styles. We need to create different environments for learning. Not everyone learns the same way. Not everyone belongs in the same school or education platform. That needs to change. All right. The three powerful principles that we're going to use include inspiration, influence, and transformation. Now, inspiration is getting the students to the place where you attract their attention before you start disseminating information, before you start teaching them. Getting their attention to want to learn is more important than the information that they should learn. Because once they want to learn, they will go and find the information anyway. They will go through the books themselves. You don't have to sometimes give homework. They will do homework and bring for you because you have captured their attention. Then influencing is being the one who they quote, who they refer to as the one who have the wisdom. But to get there, you need to be able to win their hearts and minds. As Proverbs says, those who win souls is wise, because the fruit of the righteous is a tree of life. You see, if the fruit becomes a tree, and that tree is a tree of life, to get that tree of life, you have to plant some good seed. So you have to be able to plant some good seed in the minds of those students so you can capture their attention and win their hearts so that they want to follow you. They want your attention. They want to do things, right? They even want to go beyond the call of duty, all right, to make sure that they become the best. So you have to win their hearts. So that learning how to influence is very powerful. Also, transformation. Transforming the value system, the culture. You see, these youths coming from different cultures, different backgrounds, and they could be have told so many different negative and destructive things about themselves, seen destructive things in their lives, experienced destructive and painful things in their lives. And therefore, they hold on to certain beliefs and value systems that influence how they learn, or if they learn at all. And we are trying to push certification down in them, in their throat. And it's not working. But if you could get to understand what is really driving them, the powerful motivators that are inside of them, and be able to harness that and change their value system, getting them to see things at another perspective, they become transformed. They become a new person. They start speaking a different language. They start thinking differently. They start feeling differently with different circumstances. They recognize that things that happened in their past didn't happen to them to kill them or destroy them, but actually happened for them, to strengthen them and build them and develop them, even to expose their resourcefulness, the wisdom, the genius that is built into them. But we have to learn how to get to that point. All right, so powerful principles. Now, in expressing these principles better, we need to understand how principles work. We see scientists using principles from so long ago, using satellites and sending satellites from one part of the globe to the next. And this, for example, this satellite was sent to Pluto from the Earth in January 19, 2006, and arrived at Pluto in July 14, 2015. How did they do that? They had to learn how to use the principles, how to navigate it, set it on a course that it will navigate the place and be in the right spot when the Pluto comes around. But remember, the planets are going around the sun. So they have to calculate that speed and that timing so that that satellite reaches there at that time. That's how powerful principles are. But we don't have to be scientists to use principles. In the kitchen, use principles. We mix these ingredients to create a particular product and put the product through a particular system and we get something we can eat. But the inside of each ingredient is a principle. And what we have learned over time is how to combine these principles to create something beneficial, something valuable. So the same way, each student has built into them general principles of humanity, and we have to learn those principles. And then there are specific principles that relate to each one based upon their giftings. We have to learn them. And that is why we go through the process of inspiring them, getting them to understand how they were originally designed as a human being, what it means to be a human being, what it means to be a person, how they are made up. So they understand the value, the power that's built into them. So they don't waste it. They don't just look at themselves as being a dog or being nothing, or calling themselves all sort of names instead of calling them the proper names, right? Names like dominators and leaders and royalty. These are names and things we need to be able to influence our children or students to adopt. And influencing them, we get in them now to be able to influence the world around them, whether it's the entertainment system, the community, the education, environment, whether it's their productivity or work ethic, their health, their relationships. They can influence things around them instead of the things around them influencing them. But we have to learn how to apply that, how to be able to do that. Then we want to be able to transform those youths to be able to generate wealth, generate value. So we get them to understand that the focus is not on generating income, but on generating value. Once they learn to generate high value, the income follows. They learn to understand that money is a slave and money is supposed to be working for them, but they have to understand different levels of value to be able to create high value products and services. You see, the handyman can do different things, and we might look at that as being valuable, but real and true, that is the lowest value, and therefore his income could only go so high. The level would always be a cap. Then you have specific service, maybe in a construction site, maybe in a classroom, maybe in a school, maybe in a store. But then when the person becomes a specialist in an area, maybe a specialized salesperson, maybe a specialized technician, maybe a specialized production person, the person value increases and therefore the revenue increases. Okay. Then we teach them the levels of value related to how things work. For example, implementation is doing the work with your hands, with your muscles. But unification is managing a team of people who are doing the work with their muscles, with their time. And then communication is be able to teach, train, using your mouth as well as your mind to communicate. That could mean singing, writing or authoring a book or something. It can mean mentoring others. All of these forms of communication raises our value and therefore increases the level of income we receive. And then imagination, which is creating new ways of doing things, innovation, combining old and new systems to create new ways of doing things. Imagination expands the value sometimes to unlimited wealth. So that's why we get the billionaires, because they're creating new ways of doing things. All right. So these are ways to transform our users are thinking differently. So if you're interested in this program, in this 12 contact hour training program of being a mentor instead of a teacher, to be an influencer instead of a hustler, this program is for you. 2 hours each session. Of course, each session includes assignments, and the assignments are practical assignments you'll do with students. And then these assignments now will show you how to move from one stage to the other to become the influencer you're supposed to be. Right? The cost is $2,000 one time, or you can work with a payment plan for this program. You can make out a check to me, or I can give you my bank account and you can transfer the money to me, payment to me. But this program is live. We can do it also online as well as face to face, but it's live. Um, what I will do eventually is record the program, and therefore, after recording, people will be able to learn it online without me being present, right? But for now, this is what it is, and it's the goal of this is to make you an influencer, not just a teacher, right? So you can transform the lives of youths from frustrated, distracted, and destructive youths into righteous, royal, and responsible leaders. All right. So I hope you can contact me. You can book a meeting to get more information at calendly.com/Royal Solutions. There we can meet and we can have a conversation. You can email me or you can go to a Facebook page and let me know what you think. All right. I hope I get to see you and we get to transform some youths together. All the best. See you.